reaches to me, reaches to me, to me, to me, to me. It reaches just as I am, without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me. It reaches to me. Are you glad about it? Grace reaches me. Thank you, Jesus. Reaches. It reaches. Reaches to me. Little old me. To me. It reaches to me. Reaches to me. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It reaches to me. Yes, it does. Thank you, Jesus. Reaches to me. Whenever I'm down, grace reaches me. Whenever I'm low, grace picks me up. Whenever I'm weak, your grace is sufficient. Reaches to me. Yes, it does. Anybody know he'll make a way out of no way? He'll open doors and close in your face. Reaches. Reaches to me. I don't know what you come to do. I don't know what you come to do. I don't know what
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the New Life Show featuring Dr. SHERYL Armstrong every Thursday. Now, let's go live into the studio.
Thank you. Okay. Greetings. The glory is back. We are sorry for the delay with the technical difficulty. Today, we are so honored to have Dr. Marco Clark, who is an amazing, ambitious family advocate. He is here today, and we're going to talk about how we can help people live better, how our families can be improved. We are honored to have you here today. So, we want to give you a big welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome to New Life Pastoral Care and Counseling. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's been a busy day, but we've been working and supporting young people and families and the community, and I'm just excited to be here with you. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for what you do.
You are welcome. You're welcome. I am honored today. And the reason why it's such an honor to have you is because we need more, and I know you hear it all the time, we need more African American males to represent families, to be that advocate. Because I'm 61, so I want to see, that lie die, that we don't, I want to see it die, because I know what we have. I know what we cultivated, and we just need the voice. We have the men, and we have the education. Come on, and we have the training, but we need the voice, and that is what I would love for you to discuss today. How we can motivate the young men to speak out and not be voiceless. That's what I'm seeing. We have had the cheerleaders with the women, and you I know we had the grandmothers that, because now I'm a grandmother, because I had the Clora V. Johnsons and the Leola Kings and the mother Tilda Marie, and then the pastors. I had that in the uncles. But what can we do now in 2023 that we can give men, starting at not just the Morehouse men, but I mean what they call in New York a stand-up guy that's going to speak out. Yes.
First of all, I want to start by saying, our communities would not be what they are without the strong women. So every man should be able to give a big hand clap, because the women have been the backbone of the community. And one of the things that we as men can learn a lot from women is that you guys have not been afraid. You have not been afraid to speak. You've not been afraid to step out on those things that were of truth. You have not been afraid to step out and talk about things when it affects you directly or indirectly. As men, we have to be willing to pay that reverence to our ladies, but also understand what we were called to do. We were called to lead, and we were called to not just lead, but to also serve. And I think in many capacities, a lot of men believe that they are just leaders, and they forget about the service part. When you are a servant, you actually gain a voice of leadership. When you're a servant, you actually understand what it means to be amongst the people and to see the real issues. So once you're amongst the real issues, and part of that I learned, because I'm a servant leader, when I'm amongst the issues, then my voice grows, because now I can speak explicitly about what's happening. I can tell you from cover to cover what it looks like. I don't miss a page or miss a beat. So when I'm speaking spot on. And as gentlemen, we have to understand that it is our call to lead, but to lead with fidelity and to lead with purpose.
And that's heavy what you said. Leading with purpose, not just our surface life, the surface talk, but to get down deep. And that's what New Life does. It helps to advocate for families. It helps families to co-parent, where we can actually have that male that still has that influence, that positive influence on his son or his daughter. And I'm helping young women to understand how important it is for that to occur and to have a village, a safe village, per se. And New Life wants to do that. That's a life-term goal, Dr. Marco, is to partner up with people, and for me to be intentional as well, to make a difference, not just to let the light shine, but to serve, to
Part,
serve.
part, you have to serve, and part of being this servant leader is to be willing to take risk. When you are a real leader and as men in the community, we can't be afraid of the challenges that may come upon us. We have to understand that our mission has to be bigger than those things that are going to come, because there will be challenges, there will be issues, and there will be times that your name may be scandalized or put in different ways. But if you're operating with a purpose, your purpose will help you get to your goal. We also need some real men, and I just want to be honest with you. We need real men that have some. We need some men who have courage, and men who have a vision. I'll just be honest with you. I'm tired of weak men that are refusing to step up and be strong. I'm really tired of men who are claiming to do one thing and do another, who are not leading in their household, and who are still orders behind the woman that's inside of the house. I need some men who have behind them that are willing to stretch themselves and not complain. Somebody that can stretch themselves no matter how hard the day gets. Like, we need those kind of men. And some what's happening, we're lacking now. And I'm just going to encourage women to stop taking care of men and stop coddling them as what they were not supposed to be. We were born, and it's time for us to make sure we do that. We can't change the community with everything that's working against us, and not be able to be a sounding, not a crutch, but a sounding oak tree, something that's sturdy and strong and ready for them to be. We need some men with some backbone, and not just talking it, but walking the walk.
And that's very important. And we want that. How would you frame that? Dr. Marco, how old are you?
You gonna call my age out?
I'm calling you out.
Uh, I'm 52 years old.
Okay, let's think about something. And when I tell you I'm 61, so I want you to tell me something, because I know I see it, and I want to know if you see it. And you see the age difference with us, but you see where it changed. You see where not just our culture, but our society, when it came to a point where you can't spank them, you can't tap them, you can't report them, and you can't challenge your children. So when our son Anthony said, I need you to look at this profile for Dr. Marco Clark, I already picked up and just reading all of your advancements academically, but I also was impressed with the service. And I knew already, without a shadow of a doubt, that you were molded and you were shaped and you were poised, but someone had to be responsible for that. And not just a mother, not just a father, but it takes a village. So when I look at the breakdown, look at that 10-year span, somewhere between 1983, 2003, 2023, the family, the breakdown, the what's the word? Mediocrity. It's just mediocre. It's okay that we don't set the table. It's okay if he doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. When did all of this get okay? When did all of this, it's okay that we don't have that talk, or we don't spare that rod, or we just time out all the time. Everybody's just time out. There's no form of structure, and there's no communication but this on a video machine. So we don't know how to, they don't know how to be men and women. And I teach women, please understand the significance of that role model of a male. Please. I know, the downtrodden, the part, we get all that, but what about the good part? I need you to appreciate the part of that male that's going to be the influence of that little boy, because it's vital. Our prisons are continually, growing with brown people. We're constantly pulling triggers because when we pull them, we see ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going? How are we going to save it? How are we going to show them?
Well,
We know what we want. How can we? How can we change this?
we're at a point now where truth is the only thing that's going to save us. The information you just stated, there's a lot of us that are refusing to tell the truth about what's happening in our community. We're refusing to say publicly that parents are doing their job. We're refusing to say that there are some bad children in the community. We refuse to say that there are some people that need to go to jail. Some of this stuff has to be talked about if we're going
Absolutely.
to bring the strength inside of the community. We need the men to step up. We need the ladies. We need this. If you're not together as parents, we need you to operate in a cohesive co-parenting process that will support the young person to help guide them along. Our young people need accountability. If there's no accountability, then tomorrow's future is definitely going to be a lot more dim than it is right now. We need all of these things to work together. But the reality is that truth is going to save this community until we start saying
Ooh,
exactly.
truth.
We're the only ones that, when there's a mass something happens, we look and we hide and we duck and we say, oh, I hope that person does not look like me. Well, there's a lot of conversations that would change if the parenting was there, if there was some guidance that was in the situation, and if the parent actually did the job and work with those individuals who are trying to support you and do it in a mingling situation that would actually work for our community. We're at a point now that it's either truth or there's going to be pain, and these are the things that's going to change our community. And we're seeing where getting us. We're seeing where the pain is taking our community. What we need to look at is how can we get truth in the air and begin to publicize what facts need to be in place. We cannot say when a 14-year-old does a crime that, oh my God, that child is just a baby. No, that child lost guidance, and no, that child's parent was terrible, and that child parent's not doing their job. So what do we do to wrap ourselves around increasing the information for that parent, increasing the information for that child? We cannot look at it and say he's just a baby. No, it's not just a baby. That baby is going to grow up to do things that's going to cause detriment to the community, and it's going to be having it's going to have a long standing forever if we don't sit down and fix it now.
That's great. That's great insight. And when you think about the South, the Central Georgia area where I am living now for the last 27 years, and coming out of San Antonio, Texas, where there was a lot of gang violence, that was just it was a very volatile time 27 years ago, and to move to a slower community that is now seeing even more violence because it was slow. But it goes to show you the influ it just started influxing into a community, and people are just in shock. But major cities have encountered these type of behaviors, and I call them menace to society behaviors. But a lot of it is mental illness, believe it or not. And like you said, walking in truth is very important. I have several families that they do not want to say, well, this person is dealing with this mental illness. And I'm trying my best in this community to bring an awareness and to remove the shame of it. Because anytime you can pick up a gun and just pull that trigger, anger management certainly was needed. Just like you said, when he was a little boy, y'all saw he was pushing his sister. You saw he was biting his cousin when you took him over there to the relative's house. You saw these behaviors, but you did not address them correctly, and you didn't walk in truth. And we need to walk in truth.
Well, when you hear the African American community complain about this opioid crisis, and the
Yeah.
first thing you hear African Americans say is that now that it has switched over, and the Caucasians are using opioids. Now there's a lot of support and a lot of things to address the issue. The situation is that the Caucasian community was not afraid to say we have a problem. They were not afraid to say opioids are coming into our community, and they're creating a problem. We need help. When the crack epidemic hit our community and the heroin epidemic hit our community, we did not want to tell you that our daughters and cousins and mothers and grandmothers were addicted to a certain grade of,
Yes.
of drugs. We hid that, and instead of coming out and being truthful about it, we allowed the prison systems and the police and them to change laws that would incarcerate people that look just like us, because we forgot to tell the truth. And now we complain and say that we didn't get help, when there's many of us who have been dealing with this drug epidemic for a long time. The problem is that we were afraid to address the issues and the ills in our community, and they knew that that would happen. And so now that we have this type of stuff and support for those communities, we want to complain and cry about it. As a community, we must do better with making sure that we don't have anything to hide. We have everything that needs to be open, because when we need the support, there's no reason to hide from and hide behind a box, behind a tissue, and think that we can pray our way out of it. Because if we know what's going on in the Bible says there is, without faith and without work, faith is dead. You can forget about it. So you can pray all you want, but if you don't put any work with it,
Yes.
forget about it.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
we are in that position right now where we have to understand that it's going to take more than just praying and getting emotional. And if I have to see another visual or another, I
Me
have
too.
walked out. That I'm marched out. It's time for action in order for our communities to get better.
This is awesome. You're right on my bandwagon, and that's actually what makes New Life Pastoral Care and Counseling so unique. Because I'm a firm believer in living in a transparent manner. Because when you stuff that down and you stuff that trauma, you stuff that pain, you are a walking time bomb. And if our people, especially people of color, can get out of that and live in transparency and identify the pain, and that will remove the shame. But we don't want, and see, that's big, and it's culturally what, stay in the house, you get a whooping if you tell it, all of these old, I'm trying to pull us out. I'm working hard. I'm on your team. I'm on your team with you, pulling us out of that old and bringing us into the new. And I love the millennials. I love the people that are your age, because one thing about it, you all are standing up for what is truth. What is truth? My own children believe in counseling, believe in walking in truth. But we had family meetings when they were growing up. What's going on? Hey, tell me. And you could tell them for real. Look, we got to get some help, because we can pray about it, but we need to do more about it. We know we can pray, but if it's a clinical mental issue, then let's double that. Let's pray and let's get medical help. Let's get clinical help. And let's look at this from a different realm and stay in it long term. Because a lot of our problems are not going to be dealt with solution based, quick fix type situations. These are long term problems, long term challenges that's going to take more than 3 or 4 sessions. So I thank you today. I truly do. I am honored, and the work that you have done. I'm looking at it, America's toughest educator. Trying to, you know what? You had to get out there. You didn't just try, you got out there. You were that Peter and said, I'm walking out here on this water, and I'm going to take this bullhorn and I'm going to educate these your people, Lord.
Yeah.
And I honor you for that. Can you tell us a little about how you work? I know we only have about 3 minutes, but as a mentor and consultant, what is your motif? What is your mission? Briefly, just one thing that you really, really have a catalyst that you know works.
I am a catalyst for change in the community, one person at a time. I can galvanize communities by the hundreds, by the thousands, for one mission, to accomplish that. And the mission of success is where I'm pushing to take, no matter where you are, to take you from where you are and move you to where we need you to go. My motto is, you can't be the person who's determined to win. And I always keep that winning spirit in my veins.
I love it. I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm putting your quote by it. And I'm willing to do the work because I know success will come, and faith comes by hearing. And you know what? Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So thank you again, Dr. Marco. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Keep shining. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
our WDDO listeners, we had an amazing show. Thank you for listening today. New Life Show, Dr. SHERYL Armstrong. We are here to assist you. Please call 478-449-0167. Remember, you're not alone.
You've been listening to Dr. SHERYL Armstrong, the New Life Show. That's here every Thursday, same time, same place. WDDO 980, 107.9 FM. That's the New Life
The
Show.
views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions